EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up with the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
And he's had a great season so far throwing the football. Very likely could go over 4,000 yards with a good performance here. And even in the age of passing first, that is no small accomplishment.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. The numbers for him from a week ago, 21 carries, 90 yards. And
well-liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, Coach, we've got to have better yardage for this guy. He's number 9 in the league. He's got to be in the top 3 before the season's over. Let's run the ball.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
Yeah, and this could be a sign of what this defense is in for because, you know, all week long the coaches were preaching to the defense, you've got to be able to wrap up against a back like him or he can make you pay. Technique, technique, technique.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Under pressure, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
A hole to dig out of here. 2nd and 17.
On play action, they'll throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise there in the dime. He'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain. It's a gain of 6, but not enough, as he'll be forced to punt on their first drive of the game. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. So out comes the offense now with a long field ahead of them. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. These are his numbers from last week's contest. A boatload of carries, 85 yards.
And when I watch them operate, I see a unit that's playing with extreme confidence. Offensive line, tight ends, wide receivers. You see a group that wants their number 8 rusher in the league end up being in the top 5 before it's over.
To throw on 2nd down, Edmonds. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Edmonds. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. And that'll set them back 5. They were looking good on 2nd down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8. Back to throw. Edmonds. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
Makes it 3rd and 2.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Complete to Amaro on the right side. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Hands it off out of the gun.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
Operating from the gun. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. Let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pad.
Under pressure, they got him again. Calling a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. So they bring out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC.
And for them right now, not a done deal. They are holding down one of the final 3 wild card spots with 2 weeks to go. But you know, there are others, Charles, kind of nipping at their heels a bit.
And Brandon, it's always worth keeping in mind, and I have to keep writing it down for myself. Remember, it's 7 teams in each conference now making the playoffs. So that brings more important games to the end of the season. So in theory, more teams alive for a postseason berth later in the year.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all for a loss.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Now a handoff here to his running back. The second down play not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. Here comes the Bears punter now. Standing right on his own 5-yard line. Take it at the 37. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. Still a lot to be determined in terms of their final seeding. We do know they'll be in the playoffs, but in what shape, what capacity, we're not sure. But here, ready for a sports cliche, and then just take them one game at a time, right?
They have to. And look, the thing about cliches, they've been proven over time. All right, we know that. So, yes, take it one game at a time, but make sure that there's no let-up, no getting off the gas, right? No mental letdowns, because each one is important for them to accomplish their goals.
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Defensively, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
And on now is the punter, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down. So a first-quarter sack, and remember, keep in mind, he had 2 sacks in last week's game.
And it's always intriguing to me to watch these great pass rushers, because some of them, they need their teammates to scheme for them. Maybe occupy people and make it a one-on-one matchup. Other guys, they just defeat everything in front of them. To get 2 sacks in a game, it's a little bit of both for you.
2nd and 15. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
I believe I could see what they were trying to do there, but unfortunately, the back ran out of room. Too close to the sideline. And for defenders, we're often taught 11 on the field, those sidelines can become the 12th defender.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
London about set to take over on offense. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all. And let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 12-yard line.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Looking to throw. Edmonds. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit here. And his kick is good. And with that, they will move out in front by 3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2. A good gain on first has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. From the gun, they'll try to run it. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. The Bears on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 2. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Now we've got a field goal coming up here for Chicago. From the right hash, this from 53. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and that will tie us at 3-3. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. London about set to take over on offense. And, of course, this a critical game in regards to not just the division race, but playoff seeding as well. They are a game up, but a loss here could really muddy the waters.
And both of these teams want to clear things up about how they feel about each other and their standing in the league. Because these two teams, they've really been the cream of the crop in their division. So this game, it's been looming on both of their schedules.
And pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
From the gun, Edmonds. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
That last throw moves him past 27,989 yards for his career, so that means he moves ahead of the blonde bomber, Terry Bradshaw, on the all-time list.
And boy, he loved to throw it downfield, didn't he? That's why he was the blonde bomber. Remember, he'd throw it downfield to John Stallworth and Lynn Swann. It was gorgeous. Big throws, big plays. Terry Bradshaw.
Throwing on first down, Edmonds. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. These two teams, you might recall, met back in mid-season, week 8 to be exact. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Oh, I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 22-yard line. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws that quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes 2 to tango. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough. Otherwise, they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Point after try forthcoming. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. So that lines up a 7-play drive all told. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground. But that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe you've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Looking to throw.
Dixon, complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. From the gun, he'll hand this off. 46 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. A handoff as they run the counter play. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. The Bears on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there, couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
Looking to throw on second down. Edmonds. He's going to loft it. Deep right sideline. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. And a huge play that time. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years. The arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And I tell you from our broadcast booth, because we're pretty close to the 50, we had the best view, a bird's-eye view of that throw, and it was an absolute thing of beauty to watch. Never ceases to amaze me, the arm strength of these guys.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. To throw on second down. And under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack. And it's third down. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
Looking middle, and that's complete. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6. So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. On first down, he'll drop to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Lamb. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Can't get away, and he's taken down. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Dixon. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line.
A gain of 26 yards.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Next, we head off to check out another game. And they were winners in that one over the visiting New York Giants. The Armadillos up their mark to 12-3. And now it's all about staying healthy for a Super Bowl run. And then lastly, we wrap up the week with a good one on Monday Night Football between the New England Patriots and the Miami Dolphins. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Bears. And they were able to have a little bit of success on the ground. The question will be, will they stick with it? Or will they be throwing more to try and regain this lead? Meanwhile, for our home team, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Taken in at the 3. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. And this offense set to go now to begin the 3rd quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it. But I think these first couple of drives...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And he'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. Not the way you envision things to start out the 3rd quarter. 1 play and already a turnover.
It's interesting. You and I were talking with the coach, and he talked about how at halftime, as a play caller, he wanted to make sure he got a new script going for the second half, not just the one that he operated off of to start the game. Nowhere on that script did it have that result.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up second.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? Let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Great move, but still wrangled before reaching the 20. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now back to throw. That is caught inside the 5. There they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2.
And a nice milestone reached on that last throw is here late in the season. He goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game.
And that is what you call lowering the boom down near the goal line. He was going to force his way in no matter what.
They always talk about low man wins when it comes to the offensive line, having the leverage to move the defenders. It's strong man wins when it comes to tackling in the red zone. And if you happen to be the low man and the strong man, that's a huge win.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will tie our game here in the 3rd. So that drive, 4 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away.
Taking it about the 1. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30.
Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now. So you're not protecting a lead. So you're not playing that way. You've got to go get the lead again. So maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
It's now 2nd and 6.
Back to throw. Edmonds. And he slings one that's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover it before he gets going?
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Looking to throw. Edmonds. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. So many times tight games decided by one big play. A lot of times, of course, it's the offense. Here, it's the defense coming up huge.
And you know head coaches walk around locker rooms, walk around bench areas saying, guys, somebody make a play. It's a cliche, but it applies here.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that challenge, a successful one. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. And they bring their punter out there now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Here's 2nd and 8. And he can't escape, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. He'll drop to throw. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him, and I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills, and that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills, but they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
On 1st down, Edmonds. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Edmonds. That is caught at the 7. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Looking to throw. Edmonds. And he's got it. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. That's good for a gain of 6. 2nd and goal. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
They'll try to run this one in. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Aviators use the short field to get in for 6. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle, and they will take a 7-point lead. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still on attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Here's a 2nd and 7.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. Now let's listen in on the call. So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
No room to be had there on the 1st down run as he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. They'll set up to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the broken tackle. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. And now here's a carry heading left. A broken tackle there, but not a ton to show for it. Tackled just on the other side of midfield. They'll drop to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he will have the Bears 1st down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
I think you'd agree that looked like the right call from up here.
No doubt about it. What everyone has to understand is that the officials are going to be right on the play each and every time. You may not like the call, but they're usually spot on.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. set up a throw. Completes it to Dixon. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Back to throw here.
That one tipped, and it's incomplete. A good hands there defensively, and it's second down.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. He's at the 50, the 30, 10, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
So now it appears they're going to accept the penalty, which means take away the interception. Also means keep your defense on the field. Don't understand this one one bit.
Sims. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. One of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you could darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best back right now.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
And now 3rd and goal coming up, the loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
From back at the 3 now, this is 3rd and goal. Here's Sims on the run. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave him with a 4th and goal. Well, if this defense can hold him to a field goal here, what a win that would be.
Not just a win on the possession, but psychologically take over the ball game. But this started with 1st and goal, so they were in 4-down territory right from the beginning. I say you finish it off and go for the touchdown.
So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And this one is right through. And that'll bring him back within 4. He's got 9 points on field goals now. He's made 3 of them. That gets him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And for him, it's not his concern, right? He just goes out there when they call on him and goes ahead and puts points up on the board. But the offense has got to get together and figure out what's stalling their drives, so they have to keep calling on him.
Let's go.
London about set to take over on offense.
And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And to give this time to the tailback. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Welcome back now here in London as we are set to bring you the home stretch here, the 4th quarter. They run a draw here on 2nd down. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. On 3rd down, Edmonds. He's going to float this one deep right side.
And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
And they'll send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight.
A 40-yard punt, no return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Their defense accomplished step one of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth quarter lead. Excellent job pushing through tacklers that time to pick up 6. 2nd and 4. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
92 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. He'll look to throw. Pass incomplete. The Bears on 3rd down. They're hitting it just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 4. They'll look to throw here. And he comes back with one complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's one of those where it feels like backyard football in a sense. You say, forget about the route. Just run to the open spot in the middle of the field, and I'll find you. Good throw, good concentration on the catch, and they pick up the first down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Hands it off out of the gun. Fights forward at the 20. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown, Bears. Touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bears have retaken the lead. Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. London about set to take over on offense. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. On 1st and 10, Edmonds. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
At the 29-yard line.
Now they'll run on the draw. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop it behind the line. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game, and all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Back to throw. Edmonds. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. The defense rising to the challenge and setting them back on the sack.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Shoves him away. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Chicago offense set to get started. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. 1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. From the gun, they'll try to run it. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming.
He's brought down at the 42-yard line. It's a gain of a yard.
Back to throw. Pressure comes and down he goes. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. Here comes the Bears punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And they call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, well, man, what do you need? What's going on here? So he's one person he can lean on.
Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 16. Looking to throw. Edmonds. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt.
At their own 24-yard line.
Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
He sets to fire deep. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A big connection on that one. 36 yards.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way. Just reached up and pulled it in. Had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 115 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. This carry, despite the extra effort, will be stopped short of the 10. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he will fight his way in. Not giving up there, and he's got a Bears touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Bears will extend their lead. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
Point after, right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So that drive 7 plays in length. And it was finished off with a 10-yard touchdown scamper. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Let's go, boys. Let's go. 1st down and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweat.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. He's picked off just shy of midfield, and he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. And they'll indeed take a knee. One final kneel down here as it comes inside the 40-second mark, and that should be enough to put this one on ice. And this one is right down Broadway. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. Charles, in this one, I think the storyline really, the 4th quarter, coming into it neck and neck.